Hi, this is Sal Jade from the Psychic Healing Academy, and welcome to day 10 of staying positive while you are manifesting your goals. So yesterday we talked about the importance of sacred silence and why it's really important to try to keep all of your manifestations and goals just to yourself and not share them with too many people that you feel might judge or be critical of you. Today I'd like to talk to you about gratitude, which I'm sure most of us are all familiar with. We're using to manifest and speed along our manifestations. But I want to take a bit of a unique and a different angle with the gratitude angle today, and hopefully share with you something that will help you, especially for your long-term goals. So for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure there's hardly any of us, gratitude is an amazing virtue, an amazing practice to tap into to help manifest your goals. Because while we're feeling positive and emanating positive energy and being grateful for what we have and being grateful for what's going right in our lives, then we can bring more good in. So this is a concept that's been around for a really long time. Like Louise Hay, who wrote You Can Heal Your Life, talks about it. In The Secret, they talk about it. So lots and lots of books are talking about how powerful gratitude is and how maintaining an attitude of gratitude is really important. However, something I wanted to help you with a bit today is a lot of people, when they talk about gratitude, say that it's really important to begin with the end in mind. So being grateful for things in advance. So say, for example, you are writing a book and you really want to get published. So being able to, imagine what it feels like, that moment where your book gets published or you see it on the shelf and it's the most exciting day of your life, and, tapping into that energy and that vibration so that you can keep motivated, but also so that you're attracting good things to help forward that goal. Now, this is really important, and I strongly advise you do it if you're not already doing it. However, as someone who works a lot with my clients, but also in my own personal journey, I know that sometimes with goal setting, there can be so many obstacles. There can be a lot of things that get in the way. You can get very tired, worn out, demoralized. Things can come and interfere. And so in those moments, it can often be really quickly to just so it can be difficult to suddenly just pivot to being incredibly grateful, because it's almost like you're expected to suddenly just be like, oh my goodness, this massive problem's come in. I don't know how I'm going to solve it. Oh, just be grateful, be grateful. And, we can't always do that as human beings. Like, that can sometimes be a bit challenging for us. So one example I'm going to give you is last year I created a tarot course and I started selling it online. And it's something I wanted to do for a really long time. And I started off when I was creating it, which is, one of my favorite parts is the creation of it, of, trying to just imagine what it would feel like once it published, once people started buying it, getting positive feedback from the people who were loving it and being able to help my students that were already enrolled in my other courses. And, I started trying to tap into that, and, and it did make me feel better, and it did start to sort of open the way for me being able to start recording and doing what I needed to do to get it happening. However, it was a process, and like many goals and goals that I'm sure you're working on, that took a much longer than I thought it would. Like, I thought it would take 2 or 3 months, and it took nearly 6 months of me recording and editing. And along the way, there were plenty of obstacles, and there were plenty of times where I just wanted to collapse, on the floor in despair, losing weeks worth of recording, the sound suddenly going funny, not being able to find a file, recording live for ages, and suddenly the dog starts barking next door just at that perfect moment when I get the perfect take. So these kind of things were happening, and I could feel that it was a struggle to just keep going back to the ultimate end goal, having it published, having it feeling like, okay, the income's coming in and the people are loving it. And I found myself a little bit challenged doing this. So what I started doing instead was I started going, okay, well, look, I'll check in once a week with the big goal. But on a daily level, because it was taking me 9 or 10 hours a day to work on it, I would actually just start being grateful in advance on the day. Like, I'd be just grateful it'd go smooth, and the noisy dog next door would decide not to be noisy for one day, and I'd be grateful that suddenly, like, I got the perfect sound levels and I got the perfect take, and I remembered my lines, and that when I was editing I didn't say too much. And I started doing that on a daily basis, and that really helped the process go a lot smoother. And then what I started doing was being grateful for what was going right. So as you all know, when you're working on your goals, there can be 100 million things that can go wrong with whatever you're working on. And what I started doing was then going, okay, look, I get to the end of the day and go, look, oh, thank you that I actually, got all that done. I didn't think I'd get it done. And thank you that all my software was working, because when my software stops working, I can't edit. And so I started being really grateful for those small little things, like all the hundreds of little details and things that you need for things to fall into place for you. So for example, if you are a healer or a psychic and you have just left your job, you might be having a big long-term goal of like, okay, well, I really want to start a healing practice and, become really well known and be helping people, and I really want to earn great income. And that's kind of where you're wanting to end up. But in the meantime, there's, 457 different things that you've got to get accomplished first. And so to stay motivated and to stay on task and to stay on track, I suggest slowly just going every day, okay, well today I'm going to be grateful that I found a great place to do my readings. Or I got a new client today. I'm just going to be so grateful that that happened. And, I hope that client goes on to be a regular client, and I hope we have a great session. And I hope that client recommends lots of more people to me. So as you can see, by just taking these goals and putting them into little categories instead of, having one client and going, oh God, I really wanted, I want to be earning much more money, or I want to be like much more well known by now, and I want to be in a different situation. You're actually bringing your vibration to a nicer and a more receptive level to cheering yourself on. And that really is the most important thing while you're manifesting your goals, like continually feeling that you are on the right path and continually feeling that you are doing something that feels worthwhile to you. So always thinking of yourself, of just going, okay, I am so thankful that's working correctly. I am so thankful that that little tiny thing, and it might be the tiniest thing, and you might even feel silly, thanking the universe or thanking your angels for it. But that tiny little thing can be enough just to put a smile on your face for a few minutes and keep you going, and keep you going with all the tasks that sometimes can be very irritating. And I know this from, creating my online courses. There are 100 different things that I have to do every day that I'm creating that really aren't that pleasant. Editing for hours and hours is not a lot of fun. I don't know anyone who loves editing sound for hours and hours. I'm sure there's people out there, but I'm not one of them. And so those kind of tasks, it just makes it a little bit easier on yourself and helps keep you positive if you just continually be grateful for it. I'm really grateful that this is working. I'm grateful it's going forward. I'm grateful I got so much done today. So by doing that, you'll keep yourself reinforced, and you'll stop being demoralized if something comes in to interfere, like an obstacle. So I hope that's helped you today, and I hope that this is really something that you can continue to practice. And if you think about your own big goals, like the ones that might take 6 months or a couple of years for them to manifest to full fruition, if you can just start practicing being grateful for the little small tiny itsy bitsy things every day, like maybe the things that you can take for granted. This is Sal Jade from the Psychic Healing Academy. I hope you've enjoyed today's session of staying positive while you're manifesting your goals, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 11.